go ahead and settle in for some meditation. Settle in, please settle into a place of stillness. As we go about living our lives on a daily basis, we may become distracted about the sources of true happiness. We may come to mistakenly regard external situations and conditions and possessions as being sources of happiness. Happiness comes from inner peace. Inner peace comes from establishing and maintaining a peaceful state of mind. Establishing and maintaining a peaceful state of mind comes through meditation practice. So for this morning's session, please, please just rest, knowing that you are planting the seeds for experiencing that inner peace, that balanced, tranquil state of awareness that will become unmovable, unshakable, and reliable. And when you're ready, please go ahead and gently transition into meditation on the inner body, being the silent observer of sensations that may arise within your body. You can know that deep within the interior of the Gila wilderness, there is a mountain that is observing silently. Migrating animals will walk past the mountain. Nearby flowers will bloom and then wilt. Pine cones will fall off of the branches of nearby trees. A nearby river may rise and then recede. In perfect stillness, the mountain simply observes. Be like a mountain. Be like a still mountain as you silently observe sensations within your own body mountain. Please gently redirect your awareness. Become aware again of this entity that we have decided to label physical body, and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of physical body. Deeper and deeper breaths, becoming aware again of the surroundings inside of the room that you're occupying. Become aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you're occupying. Become aware again of nearby mountains, of nearby countries, of nearby planets, of nearby solar systems. We dedicate all of the merit from this morning's meditation and Dharma talk to world peace. May all beings without exception enjoy perfect, sustained fearlessness. May all beings without exception be completely free from all forms of emotional and physical suffering. May all beings without exception enjoy sustained inner peace. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Thank you. So I have been promising over the last couple of 2 or 3 classes to talk about mantra yoga. And I'm going to do that this morning. Reminding you that over the last couple of classes that we've had, we've been talking about non-duality, also known as interconnectedness. And I was thinking about those 2 terms, and they are, technically speaking, they are synonymous: interconnectedness and non-duality. Subjectively, I prefer the term non-duality. I think and I don't want to get too caught up on terms, on words. Words are just signposts that point to the thing. They are not they're not the thing itself. They're just kind of aids to help us get us headed in the right direction toward experiencing the thing, anything. At the same time, we all have biases, and we all connote different meanings with different words. And interconnected, to me, is a little more, isn't as robust as the word, or as the expression non-dual. For me, interconnected means that there's a relationship there, whereas non-duality to me points to the fact that these things, whatever we happen to be contemplating, body and mind, self and other, my happiness and suffering, another's happiness and suffering, these things are not separate. They are not separate. We cannot distinguish between the two. We know that they're not the same entity, and we know that they're not separate. For me, non-duality gets to a more robust, more subtle, deeper implication for that phenomenon, for the phenomenon of non-duality. Anyways, mantra is a practice that over the years I have become very enamored with and committed to. It's a mantra practice. Mantra yoga is really a magical practice, very, very powerful, and it has a lot of layers to it. There are a lot of layers to the practice. There are a lot of different ways to practice mantra. There are certain, as I've mentioned in previous classes, there are certain protection mantras. We can recite mantras as a means of manifesting or encouraging protection for ourselves. And I laugh when I talk about protection mantra. I had a girlfriend who kind of had an aggressive way of driving. Sometimes she would drive fast and take sharp turns sometimes, and when she would do that, I would start chanting out the mantra, a protection mantra out loud, kind of as a means of playfully saying, "Slow down, don't take such sharp turns," and to provide some protection. So there are protection mantras, there are healing mantras that we can recite that will serve to create the causes for us to be protected, for us to create the causes for us to heal. A mantra is a string of syllables or words that come together, serve to symbolize or to manifest protection, healing, compassion. There are compassion mantras, there are wisdom mantras. Well, I mean, I'm going to save that point for, I'm going to save that for just a few moments. If you have had the thought with regard to mantras, and asking yourself or asking the question, so I understand that there are these things that are called protection mantras. I know that there are these things that are called healing mantras, compassion mantras, and so forth. Purification mantras, that's a big one. A big mantra that's often practiced are purification mantras, as in purifying our karmic potentials. I remember at one point years ago in my Dharma practice, I sort of asked myself, who says that reciting this mantra will purify my karmic potentials, right? And the real answer is, there are a few different answers, the lineage of the mantra and lots of people practicing the mantras for years, and the mantra being passed down from teacher to student and teacher to student on like that. There are explanations like that explain the effectiveness of mantras and why they work. But ultimately, the answer to the question, who says that this purification mantra will purify, who says? The answer is, you do. You are the one who empowers the mantra to be effective. How does that work? Well, it comes through experience. It comes through experience and a recognition that, I mean, the beauty about mantras is that they point to and are a direct practice of maybe the cornerstone of everything that we do and everything that we've been talking about these classes, that everything, all traditions of Dharma talk about or emphasize, and that is everything is created by mind. Everything is created by mind, including mantras, including the potential for power, for mantras to be powerful, right? If you recite the mantra, a purification mantra over and over, a purification, Om Saraswata, Om Vajradhara Saraswati Hum. Om Vajradhara Saraswati Hum is a purification mantra. Om Vajrasattva Saraswati Hum. Om Vajrasattva Saraswati Hum. If we recite that mantra often enough and have a strong enough, unshakable recognition that we create everything with mind, every experience that we have, every phenomenon in our world, we create through mind, including mantra, including the potential for mantra, the capacity for the mantra to purify karmic potentials, then it will be so. Who says mantras have the power to protect? Who says that mantras have the power to purify, to bring about wisdom, to bring about compassion, to bring about swift compassion? You do. You create mantra and the fruits of mantra with your mind. How cool is that? It's amazing. It's not pretend, it's creating. A mistake that I've made in the past with regard to teaching is that I've said that we can sort of at some level, because we make up mantra with our mind, we can sort of make up whatever mantra we want, and that has the potential to be effective. Like the title of a Beatles song, "Let It Be," that could be a mantra, and it's true. It's true. We all live in a yellow submarine. That could be a mantra that you take, and if you create that mantra with your mind and empower it to be effective, technically speaking, that can happen. I mentioned a minute ago the importance of the lineage of a mantra. The lineage of a mantra matters. And as far as I know, there is no lineage for the mantra, "We all live in a yellow submarine," or there is no lineage for the mantra, "Let it be." There is a lineage for the mantra, Om Vajrasattva Saraswati Hum. There is a lineage for the protection mantra, Om Vajraviki Vitrana Soha. And that lineage has power behind it. The mantra, the protection mantra, Om Vajra Saraswati Hum, was given to me by my teacher. And It was given to by my teacher from his teacher. His teacher was given the mantra from his teacher, and back and back and back to the very beginning. And there is power and a basis for coming to rely on this mantra through that lineage. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that there are a couple of really important pieces to the effectiveness of mantra. One is the fact that you, just as you create everything with your mind, and just as you empower everything with your mind, so too do you create mantra with your mind and create power with the mantra. It's such a beautiful form of self-determination, I think, and a reliable form of self-determination. And the other point behind it, the other cornerstone, is the fact that lineage matters. The lineage, the time-tested reliability and power of the lineage can provide a basis for us to be confident in the mantra itself. It's 9:01. There's one other aspect that has to do with non-duality that I'm going to talk about on Friday's class. That's an even deeper aspect of mantra yoga, becoming one with the mantra. I've offered before in the past, if you guys want a mantra, let me know. I'm happy to share. I do have compassion mantras to share with you. It's a short one, Om Mani Padme Hum. There are longer. Believe it or not, there's a purification mantra that's 100 syllables long. There are mantras in between, healing mantras. There are compassion mantras. Please let me know. I would love to share one with you so you can get started on your practice of mantra yoga. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Have a good week.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Bye, everybody.
You're most welcome. Bye-bye.